And one thing before we begin is I would like to ask you guys, and you don't need to answer me during, but if you wish to answer it right now or just write me afterwards. How is this working for you guys? Because this came from my head. Nobody really gave me much input, and I don't know if this is something you guys would like to keep seeing or no. This is just boring. Stop talking about Photoshop tips and go to the book like last time. So keep me posted on what you think and what we should keep and what we should kick, so we can make this the best meeting for all of us. And with that said, some of the things I found this past days, Samyang has developed a lens simulator, and I was really excited when I read about it, and I went there right away to see it, and then it was actually funnier than it was useful. But I hope they can get this working, and I will show you guys why I'm saying that. But the idea behind it is that you could see the effects that a lens selection will have on your photographs. They don't go as far as seeing the differences it makes, the compression and everything, but there are some crazy things still. I mean, if you select background 2, it looks like she's laying flat on top of a crazy perspective, and background 3 makes nothing. But that's already better because before, okay, now it comes, okay. So it is a little bit weird still, but you can actually see a little bit how much it would get closer or further away when you are changing your lens selection. And especially for me, when I use some examples for teaching, this could be interesting. And you can really showcase very easily the bokeh, or if you want to say bokeh, I have no clue how is the right way to say it, but you can see the blurriness of the background, how much it increases. And you can also play a little bit with the distance between the photographer and the subject. So the idea is phenomenal. The execution is okay-ish at the most, because sometimes you see like she's floating on top of the grass, and sometimes she seems to be in a good position. But anyways, the concept is very interesting and maybe useful if you want to just think a little about your lens selection, or in my case, if you want to show to some students without having to really go there and take the pictures and walk. So it might be something interesting. As usual, the links will be up, and hopefully this time they will come right tomorrow. But let's see how it goes. Do you all find the links? Because sometimes people ask me, where are the links? Where are the links? And they are always on the same place. Does anybody
The
not
links for
know?
what? Sorry, I'm
For an
confused.
example, this link or this material that we are seeing right now.
Okay, yeah, you can find it in Facebook as well.
On Facebook, you can find the recording. But if you want to actually have the clickable link, you need to go to the blog post and see
Okay.
it on the PDF or on the blog post. But if anybody has issues finding it, please let me know, and I will share with you the meeting code also, because they're always the same place and the same location. This is something that looks very promising, especially if you added a lot of portraits. And I'm actually pretty much decided to buy it and try it, and then I can share with you guys my experience with it. ON1, they developed the portrait, or they released the portrait AI. And what this software promises to do is that it will use the power of AI to automate and make it much easier to correct some things in portraits. So if you look on the top right, it promises that it will automatically remove blemishes, enhance eyes, whiten teeth, eyes. You can control everything manually. they say, I mean, they promise a lot, and you can even make these adjustments. You can copy them and paste specifically to a subject, so it can recognize that this guy is the groom, so it would apply the adjustments for the groom in other photos also. So this could be really, really amazing if it works well. And as I told you guys, I'm going to buy it and try it. And on our next online meeting, maybe I can come and share the results I got from it.
It works with Lightroom or what?
It can work as a standalone or as a plugin. And I understand it works for Lightroom and Capture One and hopefully Photoshop also.
It'll be interesting because, I mean, I've got Portrait Pro and I can't say it's a brilliant software. I mean, it's meant to be AI. It's got, you know, looking at the menus you've got there, Portrait Pro's got more options. But the problem is if you've got skin with blemishes, it blotches it. The same issue I've got with Luminar 4, it blotches the skin. So unless you're trying to, like, that skin there, for me, is over-processed. You know, there's no details left in the skin.
Yeah, that's my issue with it. And that was, I'm hoping you can come to this selector and tone it down a little bit. So I'm really trying to see what it happens. And from what I understand from this is probably removing texture because you can see no texture at all.
Looks artificial.
It looks plastic, and I
Absolutely looks plastic. Looks like
I hate this kind of edits,
or something.
but I'm hoping you can tweak it a little bit and see how it goes. Maybe you can tone it down, because if it does everything it promises, and you can actually control the amount that you can really run it, this could be really amazing. And copying the adjustment from one portrait to the other, this is ridiculous good. If it works, of course.
Yeah, if that works. But I'll be interested because if you take a clean skin image, as I've seen some photographers do, Luminar or Portrait Pro, they can do reasonably good jobs. But if you take a blemished skin or something that's got uneven colors, they just get it wrong.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm scrolling through it to see if I can make sure it works as a preset and to how many things. Oh, okay, here it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's preset for basically everything. Even for Apple Photos and Corel Paint Shop Pro, for the 7 people in the world that use it, it works for that too. So yeah, I'm really thinking that I will try to use it, and I will bring to you guys my experience with it, and let's see how it goes. And I will share with you guys in the meeting after the next photo walk, and hopefully we can make this plastic look a little bit better, because the promises are really very, very nice.
But I was just looking at the original photo that you have on the left-hand side, and the skin doesn't have a lot of detail even in that.
Yeah.
You can see it, the blemishes, but the skin actually looks overlit.
I'd say this is a filter because you can see the muted tones and extreme contrast and the weird color. So my guess is, I mean, this is for sure processed, and I'd say somebody just put a couple of Instagram filters on it.
Yeah.
So I'll really try to do that on regular portraits that I took. And I will see how it works, and I will gladly share it with you guys. I can even open a session and we can try to tweak it together so we see if it makes a decent job or not.
If you need a highly blemished photo raw file, let me know. I'm happy to provide you one.
Yeah, why not? I mean, just send it to me and we can play with it together. We can even play with it during the meeting and we can see the results. but I'm really hoping it does half of what it promises, because it's already a lot.
Okay.
And this one, thanks Derek for sharing the tip. I shared with you guys in a previous meeting that we had a good price for this on P&H Photo, but now Derek found this one, Capture One is on sale, and this is a local one, so you can just buy it with a discounted price, not as much as it was on P&H, but if anybody is thinking about jumping ship, as I am, this might be another incentive for you.
Mhm.
And this is another, if you guys are thinking of going this direction, I think nobody is, but at least it's nice to have, to know that this is going on now. If you buy a Panasonic Lumix S5, you will get a free 45mm Sigma 2.8, which is a very nice lens actually. So it might save you some bucks if you are thinking of going to this direction. And total disclaimer, I get no money from any of these guys that I spoke to you until now. So it's just to know that you can save some bucks if you are willing to go this way. And I don't know if you guys have any other news that you want to share besides this discussion from the Twitter algorithm.
So I'm going to test the Sony Alpha 7C.
Oh, wow.
That will arrive beginning of October. And it's a full frame from Sony. As you know, I never used Sony, but I've seen the specific of the camera. It looks to have an amazing autofocus system, the same of the professional camera. And also, you know, it's a very small, it's very compact camera, so it's good.
It's full frame?
Yeah, it's a full frame.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the one we discussed 1 or 2 meetings ago, the compact version, and I totally agree with you, Lino, because it has a lot of the improvements that we saw on the A7S III.
Yeah.
It has the autofocus system that works for both video and photos. It is really phenomenal.
Yeah.
It has all the great things that the A7 III had, but they are improved.
Yeah.
And for you especially, because it mimics a lot the format of the Leica.
Yeah.
With the viewfinder totally to the left and the compact model and everything.
In fact, I've seen, and also they made now this new lens, the 2860, that is not, I think, is not a professional lens, let's say, but it looks to be very compact, and the zoom looks to be very, very compact. So I will test it, and then as soon as I will got the camera, I will let you know, because I think it would be interesting to have a look at the quality of the picture. You know.
Yeah, that's really, it sounds really
What
nice.
Is the resolution of that camera?
24
megapixels. Yeah.
Yes,
24, okay.
Yeah. And I'm trying to find out some other specific. Okay, the price is not cheap, but I don't know the Sony price really. But this will cost without lens 2,200. That looks to me too much. But
for that resolution, indeed.
Yeah, but you know, I never used Sony, so I want to see what is the quality. Perhaps, as they say, the quality is very good. So I don't know. I don't know if the money are good for this camera. Are not too much, but I don't know. I will try. I will let you know.
It's actually an amazing camera for photo and for video. The only issue I have with it is it's too small. I cannot really operate it well with my hands, but I'm clumsy, and you are already used to the format, so I'd say you should be used to it in no time. But it's an amazing camera, and even though 24 megapixels in today's crazy megapixel huge numbers, 24 is a lot. How many of you guys are printing? If we do the math, it should be, you can print like this thing here in the back. It's big. You can print it with 12 megapixels.
Yeah, you know, I usually, I mean, just talking about Leica, there is the M10, and now they made the M10R. That the difference is at least 20 megapixels between one and the other. But when you use the same lens, when you know more or less how to manage the light, you don't need the 20 megapixel more. I mean, the only things is that you have files that are more heavy than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And you need an additional computer, more power, more space. You know, I'm not a fan of the megapixel resolution because I don't think we need more than 20, 25 megapixels.
It depends a lot on what you use it for. If you were doing, I mean, if you need to zoom in the photo and just crop a small part of it and print it big, then it makes sense. If you're printing like Remy, he has this beautiful big pictures on his wall. I mean, he might probably benefit from from greater megapixel count, but for most people, 20 is plenty.
My 26 megapixel Fuji works very well, even for this size. It's 120 centimeters. I would not go bigger, but for this, for 220 centimeters, it's perfectly fine. So,
yeah, and I'd say we could have a whole meeting just about printing
Megapixels.
resolution, not only megapixels, but printing resolutions and how big does a photo really need to be so you can print them in a very good quality. But 20 is a lot, and you can do so much with it.
yeah.
Yes.
And then
So
you already tried the Fuji X Pro series. Because now you're talking, and I'm wondering if it's not close to the Leica or to the Sony that you're mentioning. Of course, it's not a full frame, but I think the use of the camera is more or less similar to those two cameras.
The question I was asking is, if you are using 24 megapixels, which I'm not saying is not enough, minus 20, you don't need this full frame. You can use a crop sensor, and then your lenses will zoom double, right? You don't really need full frame for that. So.
But this is a complicated discussion because the full frame and the resolution are two different things. If you go for the full frame, the greatest issue there is that the way that the size of the sensor and the way the pixels are distributed there, you have some benefits. If you go for the crop sensor, of course you have this crop and you have maybe 2 times the focal length of your lens. But if you go for full frame, you have more expensive lenses because they have to cover a wider area, but you have less noise, you have a more beautiful out of focus area. So there are different things if you go for the full frame. I really don't think most people need full frame. APS-C is phenomenal. You don't need to go micro four thirds. It's discussable because it is a little bit more limited, but APS-C is phenomenal. And for that, nobody can beat Fuji, I'd say. They are the master of APS-C. But then if you go for resolution, that's another thing. It is regardless of full frame or not, because the Sony a7S III has only 12 megapixels, and it's a full frame camera. But it is meant to have low noise in high ISO. So it depends a lot. It's not as easy as saying, okay, resolution or full frame. It depends on what you need. I mean, this is the basic question for that.
But it also depends if you crop the picture after you took that. I mean, you know, I usually don't crop the picture, so I take the frame that I shoot, and then I don't need to crop the picture. So that's why, I mean, usually I can work also with 20 megapixel, let's say, and it will be enough if you don't crop. If you start to crop pictures, surely you need more, or at least you need the full sense, the full format. I mean, because otherwise you will be in trouble, no?
Yeah, if you shoot like 12 megapixels and you just need a piece of it, yeah, then you're going back to not even full HD.
Yeah, you go to the iPhone photography.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a delicious discussion that we can get hours and hours on it.
Yeah.
And whenever you guys want it, I'm really happy to go to this. I mean, one of the nicest discussions we had was completely not planned, and it was about altering your photos or not. So yeah, this is the core of our group, in my opinion.
Yes.
And going through this online things, I've been doing something that makes sense in my twisted mind. I don't know if it makes sense to anybody else, but if you only watch Hollywood movies, you get only one view of the world. You get only one way to do things. So if we only stick to the mainstream that is published in photography in the Western world, I would probably do the same. So I've been looking into getting some inspiration from other places, and this past days I was looking into some Japanese artists and some Japanese photographers, and there are some crazy things that I would not bring it here. There was that guy that was, I think he was an Olympus ambassador or something, that would go around the streets almost spanking people and doing some crazy things with the camera, putting on their faces. So this guys I'm leaving away. But there are some very nice examples and some artists that have a very different way of thinking that we are used to. And I brought to you guys two of the documentaries I found. One is on this Miyako lady. She's a street photographer. She goes and she explains a lot. And you can actually practice your Japanese if you are fluent. Otherwise, you have to keep reading the things which I've not used anymore. But the documentary is very nice, and looking at the different view of the world that we can get in the other side of the planet, it was something that was really really rich for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys...
It's funny. I've seen it last week. I mean, I found it on YouTube, and I've seen it. You know, she is, let's say, compared to Daido Morihama, the Japanese photographer that is a street photographer. He's a guy, he's a man, and you know, she is the one that is more close to the photography of marijuana. So it's very interesting. Yeah, it's very, this documentary is very interesting.
It looks like the camera she uses is very sophisticated.
Sorry?
More compact than that cannot be.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, but you know, it's very simple. It's not digital, I think. It's a roll camera she is handling now.
Oh, yeah?
And, yeah, I think I'm not sure, but if I remember well. And you know, sometimes could be an interesting. Like I once made one camera digital, but without the screen on the back, so you cannot see the picture, because you know, looking at the picture you just made is really something like a drug, because you really lose the idea that you can manage what you are doing, because you just wait to see the immediate result. So
It's the digital film, something like that. You have to shoot and then wait until you get to the lab to reveal the photos. Yeah.
Go to the computer.
Yeah. But it's not bad. I mean, it's a good exercise for photographers. So
Yeah, but if I would pay the value of a Leica, which is totally worth it, I would expect them at least to give me a cover for the back screen and not to take it away completely, because yeah, I might want it.
It is not like a philosophy.
Yeah, I'm not evolved enough to go for the Leicas. Yeah.
Really crazy, I mean, yes.
Yeah.
And,
But this camera that you were saying that was quite advanced, Antonio, it's exactly the opposite.
No, it's not advanced at all. It's very simple.
The beauty of it is taking away the camera from the equation, because the camera is just a tool to register what is in front of you and how you interact with it, your vision of it. And this is something that one of those guys brought to the discussion at some of the documentaries I saw. It is this cannot get in the way. You have to make the photo happen. It's a reality that you create from the reality that is presented to you. And we are so, like Lino was saying, we are so stuck with the megapixels, with the next camera, with the most amazing hardware, and sometimes we forget a little bit of the root of it. That is, your eyes and your brain should create the photo before the camera does anything.
I was listening to one thing, and the guy made a very nice comparison. And it was a photography exhibition, and the guy was explaining that and there was a special chef there that was eating and preparing very good food, and when the chef came to the table and he saw the photograph who was making the exhibition, and he was like, yeah, you're making very beautiful pictures, and he said you must have like very good gear. And the photograph looked at him and said, "You're making very good food. You must have an amazing oven." And so I like the comparison. Like, okay, obviously the oven doesn't make the food, so there's the same for the pictures. The camera doesn't make the picture, just the tool that helps you to do it.
It's an amazing analogy, yeah. And the other one, still keeping the focus on Japan, was who did you say, at the first when we were we did not rehearse this. She is phenomenal.
All the world,
She is phenomenal. There are some really gorgeous photos. And again, I think it was she who said the story about you have to create the reality from the reality you have in front of you, or something on those lines. And there's some very nice images. There's a lot about street photography, a lot in black and white. Always because it simplifies a lot. And I love this concept. This is something that I'm really looking into practicing a little more. Maybe we can get one of our photo walks and have like a focus on, I don't know, black and white, and see what we can get as a team, just in black and white images, street photography images.
Works with a 35mm lens, nothing more, and usually a very small camera. So, and a good exercise that I would really like to do with all of you is if we go on the street only with a 35mm lens, that is the original view of the photographers. 35mm is the closer view to the human eyes. So, and it's really interesting, because if you see something that you like, you should go closer.
You have to zoom with your feet, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, because when you have got the zoom, you just stay on the other way of the road, and you just the perspective of the picture completely change. But 35 is really, I think, the best lens also to take portrait. There is no distortion, so I mean, Moriyama is incredible. I mean, I've got a lot of book of him, and he shoots so many pictures on the daily basis. I don't know now, because now it becomes to be, let's say, a little older than 10 years ago. But it's very interesting. Yeah, Japanese photography is very interesting.
Yeah, I loved this experience
Araki, so the crazy guide who photograph always naked women. I mean, he's an incredible photographer. He does incredible, very simple nude picture, but it's very interesting. Araki Mentori.
It was a very rich experience going through some of these Japanese photographers and trying to see another view of the world. And I mean, this is what you suggested, Lino. We could just make it happen. Just grab a day and let's go. Whoever wants to join, I'm totally in. We can get a fixed focal length. I don't know if everybody's going to have a 35. And if you are on APS-C, or if you are on a compact camera like Antonio, we have to make the math and select a focal length, and that's all we need to. We are allowed to use on that. Let's call it a workshop. I would love to see the results of that.
We can do a 35mm meeting, or 50 or 28. Yeah, everybody can handle the lens.
Yeah, 35 I can do with a zoom lens that I have. 50 I would really enjoy, because I could take the 1.4.
Yeah.
And
I just meant that 50 was the equivalent of APS-C approximately for the 35.
Yeah.
Yes, because he's
1.5, 1.6 depending on the camera. Yeah. But I mean, this is really a very nice project. We could try to do it maybe the week following the photo walk next week, if you guys have the chance.
Yeah, can be interesting.
We could like pick the Thursday before after the photo walk. and try to make that a meeting.
Okay.
Yes, that will be good for me.
Okay, so I will put it up. I will actually make a meetup out of it. And the theme is street photography, black and white with a fixed focal length, equivalent to the human eye.
Yes.
That's a good
This
one.
is
And
going
with
to,
the back of the digital camera covered.
oh, wow, this is going to be amazing. Yeah.
We have to suffer for 2 hours.
Yes.
I will just write it down because I will forget my name before the end of the meeting. Yeah. Okay. And let's go back to where we were. And then, so I strongly recommend these 2 documentaries. And if you guys have, especially you, Lino, because you mentioned exactly the same people I've been looking into. If you guys have books or other documentaries or other resources on any kind of this stories or the work of some nice photographers that are not on the mainstream, please, please, please share them with me or with the group, even better, because I think this is just amazing to make us grow, not only in photography, but opening your mind to so much more.
And look also this picture, it's very, I mean, it will be at least 3,000 years old. It's very, very, the eye contrast. Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting photography.
And if you consider the lighting here, you have the backlight on the smoke because of that light coming down, but still have a lot of light on the face.
Yeah.
Is gorgeous.
It's a great photography.
Yeah, this is something we could also do at some point. Just get some of these gorgeous photos and chat about them, because there's an endless resource of chats for us. And this one I brought to you guys because some of the people in our groups, they've been saying that they need to improve. They on portrait photography, they don't know as well as they would like to know how to handle portrait photography, how to direct models. So I was looking into some themes that might help. And this one from Adorama, it's a very long video. It's like 1 hour or something. And the person who is teaching there goes through a lot of things about portrait photography. It is not as good as something that I shared in the past, especially when we had Sue Bryce, that she opened her entire training center. But it is good to kickstart some portrait photography and give you some tips if anybody's interested. And thinking that it is going to get dark very soon, and something that I think it was Antonio who said in the last meeting, how we could, if we could, join this night photography and long exposures with some things in the city.
Yeah.
This guy, he goes specifically to that. He is most of the time he explains and says he says what he's thinking and how he uses this long exposures to make some cityscapes or some regular photos. Sorry, this is from B&H. This is just tips on long exposures. It is not focused on making different portraits in regular situations. So this is his tips on long exposures. And it's also a very, very long one, 1 hour and 25. There's a lot of advertisement from the company. Of course, they make money selling gear, but they have lots of good tips. This is something that you can put on your computer while you're doing something else and just fish some of the concepts. And this is the guy I was saying that he tries to apply long exposures to regular photos that he would take in the city to give them a little bit of a different view. And this is precisely what you were saying last time, Antonio, how we could mix the 2 things. Use some longer exposures because it's getting darker, and make this work in some photos around the city. And this we can easily practice next week already on the Photowalk.
Yeah, because the light will be low anyway.
Yeah, right now it is 8:20 and
It's completely dark already.
it is night outside already.
Yeah, yeah.
And I also did not arrange this with Lino. We did not talk about it, but this guy in Cope, they brought some tips for black and white photography. Some of the tips are really, man, not that much, but some of the ideas and some of the things that he brings to attention are interesting. And this is certainly something that we should practice on our digital film photo walk, because there's a lot to do with black and white street photography, low light situations, and he has some good ideas and some concepts that you should have in mind when you're thinking of doing a photo in black and white. Still on street photography, this guy has some tips, and I mean, I brought all these things about street photography because we have the photo walk coming. And some of the tips here are really lame, but some of the tips, especially when he brought this one with the photo that I took, are quite nice, because whenever you have a lens that goes a little bit wider, you probably have the tendency to shoot wide for everything. And sometimes it's not the best option. Like he compares here, if he goes 1.8 on his Zeiss lens, you have no clue what's happening in the background. But if you shot with the same lens on a 6.3, you can actually see it is a cityscape in the back. So this is one of the many
But you
tips
might
he
not want
shares.
to know. You might want to do like on the left, right?
Yeah, you might want to, but what he was saying is that many people, when they have a lens that opens so wide, they just put it on the widest aperture and they shoot everything on that. And the
I
tip he
know.
was sharing is that sometimes it might not be the best solution, depends on what you want. But there are some nice tips to keep in
That's
mind,
right.
and maybe to exercise it in our photo walk. And too bad Daniel is not here. I am doing my homework, and I've been whenever I get a chance trying to work more on Capture One. And if anybody else is trying to jump ship, there are so many good tutorials on how to jump ship. And actually, the page of Capture One Pro, they have on YouTube a lot of tutorials. And if you go for their website, they have actually some tutorials on how to migrate from Lightroom. A little bit obvious, but it might help if you need that. And probably the next one I will share with you guys is all my difficulties when migrating and when finding the things to adjust, and then I will ask Remy and Daniel to help me with that. So getting away a little bit from the documentaries and stuff. Next week we have the photo walk, and answering, I think it was Ed who wrote to me, and I completely forgot to answer you, Ed. Sorry. I was
Yes.
still among some boxes, and I made a rookie mistake. I just marked it as red on my watch, and I never came back to you. So
No.
next week we have the regular photo walk open. Everybody can come. No, I'm not going to put any kind of limits to it, and we have already more than 20 people. If we put all the
Okay.
groups together, is 20 some photographers, but
Hmm.
on the day a lot of people just will not come. Some people that did not RSVP will come, and if it rains, basically nobody will come. Like 5 people will go there. And I will put the details maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I can be a little bit more certain about the weather, so I will try to get a location that is better suited to the weather. But it's going to be around Old Town, around the same places we usually go,
That's
and
perfect.
where we can get a lot of long exposures and street photography at night.
Yes. Last week, next week I can't be with you, unfortunately, but maybe there will be another walk soon.
Yeah, the following Thursday
Yes.
we will have the digital film photo walk.
Ah, yes.
But
Okay.
what is it that Pix has going this this time?
No, nothing. It has nothing to do with pigs. Nothing.
I'm just joking with you. I'm jealous because you're always going with the guys from PIC. They're amazing, and they're amazing anyways, and they have some great events. Don't get me wrong. And this is the other photo walk ad that you were asking, the one that is going to be limited.
Yes.
The idea, I mean, most of no, not everybody. Some of you were not here. So Daniel gave us a suggestion, and that's why we still do not have this photo walk that was supposed to happen before the end of the month. But with his idea, I'm going to delay it a little bit because it was really an amazing idea. And we're really going to make this happen. So that's why the date is still to be defined.
Okay.
It's going to be limited. So we are going to be around 10 to 12 photographers. And we will have at least 4 models. So there's not a line to photograph or 10 people photographing the same person. So it would be much more pleasant to everyone. And these are some of the photos of the location. It is an escape room facility. They are big, they're huge. And we have a lot of different rooms, different lighting situations. We can even bring some lights because we are going to be the only people there. And that's the place where we'll have the time there. And the only it's not a catch, but the only thing you have to keep in mind is to use this venue. We have to hear the explanation that the owner is going to give us about what he sells, what is the escape room, and why you guys should try it, because it's really a very funny thing. If you guys have never tried it, it is really funny to go to these escape rooms and try to find the way out of it. So, but I still do not have all the details. I'm waiting for Daniel to confirm if we have a minimum amount of people and some other things, and I will get back to you guys as soon as we have everything set.
So that will be the limited one, correct?
This is the limited one, yes.
Mm.
Because if we went there like with 25 people, 5 or 8 models, and no, this is just too crazy. And yeah, the next things that we have going, and it's good that at least 3 or 4 of you guys did not see this last time. We did a part of our conversation last time just about the book that we're going to do before the end of the year. So if you guys want to read about what we've discussed or see the recording, the link is going to be on the presentation and on the blog post, hopefully tomorrow. Hey, talking about Daniel, he's coming. And you can see everything we discussed there. I brought a very, very, very poor summary. The idea is that all the photos need to be taken in this year, to 2020. It can be on the photo walks, any of the things we've done in the lockdown, or anything you've done during the year. It is going to, I lost Zoom again, and I don't know if Daniel came. Hey there, Daniel.
By the way, Cesar,
Yep.
by the way, did you receive the photo, the
Yep.
thing I've sent? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
I received it. Thank you.
The 2 emails, right? With the cover
Yep.
and then the content. Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
I've got them all. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
And the format, it is going to be in portrait orientation. That was a discussion we had last time. It would be landscape or portrait, but because of the binding also, it is better that it's a portrait. And we'll have some sections. This is totally open to suggestions if anybody has anything different in mind. But one of the sections would be who each one of the participants is. The idea I suggested, this image to the right, this is a double page. So imagine you are with the book open in front of you or the magazine open in front of you, and we have a very nice portrait. In this case, this is a photo of Jan that was made by Daniel on his Guys Only magazine, which by, again, Daniel, we're really looking forward to seeing your presentation here about the experience and some of the photos.
Sure.
And so you have a very nice picture of you, a self-portrait. Do not do an iPhone duck mouth selfie, please, because if you do it, as I said last time, I will take my time tweaking your photo in such a ridiculous way that you would not talk to me again if you send me a photo like that.
So
let's make.
you don't want selfie sticks.
I mean, if you do it, make it count. I mean, if you're going to
No.
do
I
it,
won't
make
do.
it
I don't have
count.
selfie sticks, so I don't never
It,
do
it
selfie
it has to really make sense. It's just not that put the camera up, do the duck mouth, and doesn't matter whatever is happening around you. But the idea is photo from you or self-portrait that you've taken. One of the photos that is from this year that you were most happy about that you took. And what I suggested, I would have the contacts and maybe a quote, something you read, something you say, something you
The
like.
contacts
I
I
don't
didn't
know.
put on mine. I didn't know. I thought it was only a quote would be enough.
Yeah, no worries. You can just update it. No worries. We have still time.
So it's the contacts and the phrase. That's what you need.
Yeah, I mean, this is all optional. Except from the photos on top, this is all optional. And if you don't send me your contacts, I will put whatever contacts I have.
That's fine.
And what I suggested is, what is your passion related to photography? Please don't go crazy. Let's keep it with photography on this book and magazine. And what is your challenge? What was the challenge that you set for yourself, except surviving the year that you put to yourself on 2020? This is a suggestion. You don't need to stick to this, but it would be nice to have like everyone in the same format. The other section would be who we are and some of the things we've done as a group. This is a small section that I will put together, but I will gladly take any help or suggestions that you guys have. But this is going to be a small portion of the magazine, just showing who we are and where people can join or see what we do. And then the most wanted part of it is the photos from each and every one of you. The suggestion, and that's what we stuck with when we spoke last time, each participant is going to have 4 pages. That is 2 double pages. And you can do whatever you want with this layout. You can use the double page to put just 1 image. You can put 132 images like thumbnails on it if you think it makes sense. But you define the layout. Then you send me the layout and the high resolution images, and I will replicate this in the final file.
Sorry, Cesar. I've got a suggestion. I don't know. I mean, once we know how many people will participate to the book project, what we can do for the portrait perhaps could be nice. If, let's say, for example, I will take your portrait. You will take my portrait. Ed will take portrait of Kurt. Kurt will take a portrait of Peter. You know, everybody can take everybody can take the portrait of the other. Mm-hmm. And then, let's say, okay, Ed, I will take the portrait of Ed. So, and this means more or less what we see in each other of the group, you know. How do we see the other people of the group? This can be, you know.
I like it a lot, yeah. I like it a lot. I was thinking if we could do like pairs, like you said, or if you could have like some different occasions.
Yeah,
a group meets, and then one person is the model, and the other 5 take pictures, and then we rotate.
Yeah.
This could also be a nice exercise.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's say if we are, no many will participate to the book, but let's imagine we are 10. Okay, everybody can be portrayed by the other 9. This means that we have to meet all together one afternoon, and then we have, let's say, 5 minutes each to take the portrait of the others. It can be, you know, something interesting.
I like a lot the idea. I think there are 2 challenges that are not easy to solve. The first one is making sure who is going to participate. And I'm quite sure that when we are close to the end, somebody else will join, but this is easy to solve. Okay, you joined later, you have to find another way to get a self-portrait. And the other one would get all people together in the same place to make the photos.
You
But
might
there's
also
always
prefer your own photo because it's a special place you were or something.
yeah, this is
Otherwise, you
open.
get it in where in some park in Zurich.
Otherwise, to make it more easy, you know, everybody can take the portrait of another one. Let's say, okay, I take the portrait of Kurt. Okay, that's it. And then Kurt take the portrait of Caesar. Caesar take the portrait of me. I mean, perhaps this is easier. It's more, it's much more simple to achieve.
My suggestion to make it happen maybe easier, we could try to set like 2 dates in which we could join and make the portraits, and we'll have like a small section in which people can say, okay, I am wanting to do this portraits of each other.
Yeah.
And then people can say, okay, so I saw that I will put a crazy name so nobody thinks I'm saying about one or the other. So let's Alex. I saw that Alex is wanting to do it, and I like Alex for some reason. I will talk to Alex so we can do this pair portraits.
Yeah.
And the person, the people who prefer to have the another image, Antonio, that's absolutely open. You can select whatever image you want from yourself. But if you do a selfie with your duck mouth, I am going to mess with your photo
My
big
selfie
time.
doesn't have the duck mouse. You might have seen it, right?
yeah. I'm just playing with you.
My selfie is myself. No, it's not a selfie. It was taken by someone else. It's quite serious, but.
Yeah. I'm just joking because I'm really hoping somebody sends me a bad portrait, so I will mess with it a lot. Okay, so I will give the 2 options all together and 2. And please, if anybody has wants to make this happen or wants to join in a collective portrait session, just write me or whatever. Just because otherwise I'll just put the dates that come to my mind. And if nobody comes, it's going to be me taking portraits of everyone. That's only me. And just keep in mind whenever you guys develop your own layout that you need to allow a little bit of a border. I will control this because I will have the final layout of the book or magazine depending on how many pages we have. And if you decide to do a photo that spreads over 2 pages, keep in mind that where we have the binding, it is very much possible and probably probable that this could chew a little bit of your image. It could take a little bit of your image away. So if you put exactly the most important part of your photo there, it might be butchered and there's nothing we can do about it. Okay, so this was what I had about the book. If you guys, please go ahead, Hemi.
When you say high resolution photo, do you mean a TIFF or do you mean even a high res JPEG?
You can send me anything. I would suggest if you're going to send, because I'm not going to edit your photo anymore. So even a JPEG is okay, but just export it 100% and with a good resolution. Don't compress it. Ideally, it would be like a 300 dpi. But 150 should be enough because it's going to be small and everything. But ideally, let's not skimp on this.
Okay, great.
And especially if you already know the size you're going to put it, and you have to because you're going to create a layout, you can send it to me exactly on the size so I don't have to resize them. So if you're using a double A4 and you know it's going to occupy this size of the pages, you already know the size that your image will have. So you don't need to send me like the full size of your images, because if 10 people send me 20 pictures each with a full resolution, yeah, this is going to be funny. And if nobody has anything else to say about the book or some ideas, some questions, I'll switch to the next one.
Yeah, no, okay.
Okay. So this is something that we spoke last time about doing a Foto Flohmarkt of our own. And if we don't put a date, we don't make it happen. So my suggestion is, and if we do it on the last weekend of October, for example, I can offer the space here in the studio, if you guys are willing. We can have one full day, Saturday or Sunday, doesn't make a difference, or maybe even the weekend. And we can have, if you guys have used gear that you want to sell, you can participate, and I would charge a very tiny small fee if you want to do that. But if you just want to come to have fun, to see what's for sale, or to chat with the others, it's obviously free. And I'd like to know what you guys think. Who would like to participate?
Yeah, I will participate. I have many things that are really in the draw that I don't use since a lot of time now. I will participate, but please don't charge a fortune.
I'm thinking about like 10 to 20 bucks, so I can buy some drinks. I don't think I'm going to get rich, or you're going to get poor with it.
You mean per hours or what?
Nah, okay. So if it is so low, we can discuss it differently. And I would certainly share the whatever costs, like buying some drinks or something.
Yeah, sure. No, this is a good idea. No, I will participate if you can organize it. End of October, yes, because now I will be engaged with the Zurich Film Festival, but this is from 24 to, I don't know, 4 or 5th of October. And this is why I think I'm afraid I cannot join for the escape room meeting if you do it Thursday the 1st.
Yeah, it would be probably a little bit not so soon, I'd say. But let's see how it goes. But this one, the used equipment, this is the suggestion is the last weekend of October. So everybody has a little bit of time. The weather is not that phenomenal anymore, so people are not going to the lake.
It's the whole weekend or one day?
This is something we need to discuss depending on who is participating. But I'm open to do it the whole weekend because I'm usually here in the studio anyway, so it's easy for me.
I can show up just to have a look, but I have no kit to sell, so.
Yeah, so that's easy. So
okay,
that's
you
easy.
can come to buy,
Yes.
Buy old kit, If I buy it is new kit, old kit, no.
Lino, are you selling one of your Leicas?
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
Only Nikons. Nikons.
Oh yeah.
Only the bad thing. The good thing, no.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Only crap. You only sell the good thing.
All the cameras that don't work, lens that not work anymore. Finally, I'm Italian guy. Pay attention.
You never sell the Leica or Hasselblad. You sell the Nikon, Canon, those things, Olympus, and those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, the difference on I would answer that if I'm selling, you ask anything. Yes, I am. It depends on the price, of course.
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah.
If you pay as much as a new one costs, okay, I sell it right away. Yeah.
Me too. And on that sense, yes, of course. Yeah.
So who is participating on this event? Is this only for our meetup, or are you going to invite other people?
Completely open. There's another photographer. I have already been to one Flohmarkt he had, and he's most certainly coming too. It's absolutely open, Daniel, for selling and for buying. Just bring anybody or share this invitation. I'm even going to advertise it probably, so we have more chances of selling it.
You can make a meetup.
Yeah, that's a little bit of also the idea. I'm going to advertise it on Instagram, Facebook, Meetup, and keep it open. Anyone who wants to sell could come and put the things for sale. I'm even thinking if you don't want to be here all the time, of course, we can arrange something. I can be your salesperson. for the right fee, of course. But I'm really easy and open to this. But it's so completely open, Daniel. Anyone could participate to buy or to sell.
Oh, okay, sounds good. I mean, you need some traffic, otherwise it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. But the gear is sitting in a keller anyway, so yeah. And I'm sitting here anyway, so for me it's a win-win situation. Even if I just take it out of the keller and put it back, it is worth it. And at least I will drink a Coke with Lino. So yeah, that's
sure.
already good for me. It's already a good weekend.
Absolutely, I agree.
And I said,
Antonio, we can take the portrait of each other.
Yeah, that's a deal. That's a deal already. But if you guys want to just come and have some fun and chat a little bit, that would be already amazing.
Okay, that depends on the weekend. It should be fine.
Yeah, you are always traveling. I will try to make it.
The problem is not traveling. The problem is if I'm on call or not. But if I'm not, I can.
But then
I'm
bring
not
your
always
phone.
traveling.
Yeah, bring your phone if you're on call. Yeah.
It's going to be on the city center, right?
It's going to be on 8003 Zurich, Wurstrasse 15.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. No problem.
And this is something that I always thought as one of the roots of our group is sharing. And most of the time, I'm the one trying to come up with the content. Sometimes Daniel helps me a lot and shares some things. We've had Hemi and Jan sharing some content too. But guys, let's inspire each other. What are the projects? What are the things that you guys have? Ed has already shared with us the Tagger Biz. He probably might come back with all the evolution that came with the project. I just brought some examples, and these are invitations actually for you guys if you want to share them with us. Lino had the chance to photograph Elena from our group. This is something I would really appreciate seeing some of the images. I'm sure Ed has evolved enormously with his Taggerbiz initiative. I would love to see the new things about it. Daniel, I cannot say it enough times. I would really love to see the what you have from the Guys Only magazine. I'm certain you need a lot of time because a load of portraits. I'm sure Hemi has some crazy images and beautiful drone shots from Portugal. I mean, this would be something that I would love to see also. And if you guys are into the crazy things, I'm doing a homemade project. I don't know if you guys know the Loop Deck, the tool to. It's a tool that you can tweak clarity, exposure, and a lot of things with just a couple of knobs, but it costs like $200 or depending on the model you buy. And I am trying to make a MIDI controller into something that you can control. You can set like this for clarity, this for exposure, this for whatever you want. And I'm really trying to make this work with Lightroom and Capture One. And it seems not to be so complicated, but it takes a lot of reading and trying and mainly making mistakes. And but the point here is not exactly one specific project, but is sharing among us the projects, and maybe somebody would like to participate. Okay, so Daniel shared the Guys Only magazine, and so Jan went there and he also participated on it. And maybe Ed, one of our IT guys, likes the idea of tweaking with the MIDI control. So let's try to inspire each other. So if you guys have projects, ideas, or things you are doing, let's share them with the group.
By the way, it was not only Jan, it was Ali as well, and Kurt.
Okay, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yes. They did an awesome job. Kurt was very nervous being first time in front of the camera, so but he did fantastic. Yeah.
It's a good thing to feel what we make the people we photograph feel too, right?
Today I was once more with Elena to portrait just in the field close to my house. You know, I think that when you find out somebody that you think is inspiring you, you know, for the face, for the expression, you have to try to take 3 or 4 times picture to see if you can improve your view. I mean, you know, and this is what is happening because when you meet somebody once more, once more, you are able, you talk with him or her, you know something more, and then the picture looks to be more, let's say, no, I don't say nice, you know, but interesting. You know, this is. I don't think you can take. Yes, if you do it because you are doing one commissioned work, you meet one person once for 5, 10, 15 minutes. You take the picture. Lighting will be the best. The background will be well done. He will be very well dressed, and the picture is done. But this is not really portrait. I mean, this is a very good picture. So it's different. But anyway, yes, we can share this kind of picture because I am now doing a lot of series of portrait of Elena, and this is quite interesting to discuss also together to see what you think.
I'd really love to have that in the group. So whenever you're ready,
Yeah.
just let us know when we can have that.
Yeah, because usually, you know, like Peter does with his he's Peter with the magazine, right? Am I right?
Sorry, who?
Who is producing the 48 magazine? Peter.
Ah, Daniel.
Oh, sorry, Daniel, sorry. Yeah, I also produce the magazine for my work usually, and this is why I need the 3 or 4 times a photo session to arrive to a reasonable number of portrait or anyway photos, because I'm not able to perhaps I'm not able to take the good picture for the day one. I need more time.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, and if you have the chance and you start interacting every time more and better with the model, I mean, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Elena is also, I mean, she wants to take picture. She wants to be a photographer. So it's always interesting to photograph, to take a picture of photographers. You know. It's interesting.
So that's great. We're counting on already the Guys Only magazine. So your portraits of Elena. You guys just let me know whenever you are ready. I will chat with Ed about the Tiger Bees. Maybe we can have some news to share. I'm sure he wrote me that he got some very good news already about the project. But all of you guys, if you have anything that you were doing, it doesn't need to be something so unique as going to Portugal and flying with a drone there. It can be something much smaller. You have a project, you have an idea. Let's inspire each other. I think it is the goal I'd have with this section of share your stuff.
I do have a question. I'm looking for a site where I can have, with a lot of resources like stock videos, transitions, slideshows, sound pieces, FX things, you know. And I'm just looking at, how's it called? Motion Array. Motion Array has a wide range of different kind of things. Mm-hmm. And there's Evato as well. And I'm just, I'm actually think, yeah, what most of them are specialized either on videos or on sound or just pictures, and like Motion Array and Evato, they're very spread over the whole range of things. Any suggestions of other this kind of sites?
There's one that I like a lot. It's not exactly a site. You can buy a subscription. It's a one-time payment. And they have a lot of things towards transitions and videos, logo animation, but they don't go, as far as I remember, so much into audio. But what I've seen from them, and I used a little bit, it's really nice. They have a lot of very good things towards video.
Can you post? Can you post? I'm just posting the ones I mentioned. So for the one who for the people who are interested. So it's one motion array, and the one is Evato. And what I like with motion array, they do have a lot of things for DaVinci Resolve as well, because DaVinci Resolve is my video software, so which is not so often available.
Yeah, what Envato and Motion Array are ones of the best I've read about. I've used many things because in Envato you have to buy specific ones, right? They have like 1 gazillion different things you can buy, and it's a little bit overwhelming even to find your way around it.
But they say they have only one price. They say $16 per month, and then you have access to everything. And the Motion Array is much more expensive. They say, well, it's 30. Well, it's 20 if you go annual. If you go annual, it's $20 per month. But they have a lot of DaVinci Resolve things which are important for me, as this is my video software. But I think it's still a lot of money. And I'm not sure if I use it, you know, so often. That's the point, you know. I actually would prefer like that you can buy single elements instead of going for a subscription.
Okay, just I'm posting the link for these videos, but I don't know. I think it is going to be a little bit too limited from what you said you need. And I will look into some of the other things that
they do a lot of advertisements right now.
Yeah, very boring amount of advertisement. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about the guy who gets run over by the car, right?
Yeah. That's exactly that one. Yeah. But they do have some very nice things. I experimented with it a little bit, and I've been stalling to buy it because I'm really going to use some of the things they offer, and the price is a no-brainer. It's really cheap if you compare with some of the other things.
That makes it a bit suspicious to me.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. But if you compare it with Envato and some of the others, I mean, if you buy just one little thing, it costs almost 1/3 of these videos for life. It's funny.
What's the business model if they give it away for so little money?
I'm guessing they want to have volume. Like Apple Store, you get a lot of $2-3 programs, and then they have like 1 million downloads. Maybe it's better than selling just like 100 of the $500 packs.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna look into it. Yeah.
Or they just scam people that give them $60. Yeah, that's another business model also. But they've been around for a while. If you look for reviews, and if you, that's something that I do a lot. Whenever there is this kind of not very known thing, I look for in Google like scam and the name of the company. And I never found anything weird about them. Trustpilot has a good rating, so seems to be at least a very good scam. I will check here, Daniel. I have maybe some links that I have on my bookmarks, and if I find something useful, I'll send it to you. And maybe even later you could tell me a little bit more specifically what you were looking for. Maybe I can help.
Yeah, I'm just playing around with videos a bit, you know. So it's more like making experience and testing, and so it's not so super. It's not, yeah. But yeah, that's always like this. It starts at my side when I get interested in something, then I start to ramp up, and yeah. And I'm pushing away video since a while because I think I still like beginners at photography, and so I'm trying not to do video in parallel, but more and more, I don't know, it just catches my interest all the time.
You consider everything as pictures, either motion pictures or still pictures, and that's just one subject, yeah?
Yeah, but it's, I mean, even from the gear point of view, it's pretty different, you know. You need, if you have someone walking through a room, you have to have the light all over the room. If you do only photographs, you can move around the lights and then take another shot, move around the lights, take another shot.
Yeah, it's a totally different beast. I just joking with the story about the motion pictures because it's a totally different beast.
I'm just checking. Actually, I could share a video if you guys are interested about Guys Magazine.
So you can go ahead whenever whenever you're ready.
Where is my screen? I'm just checking. I need to. And where's which one? Desktop 1, desktop 2.
You see what I suffer here all the time, right? That's why I always share the wrong screen.
Do you see the big 48 right now?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. Does it share sound?
Yep.
You have to put at some point that you want to share your computer's audio. But try it and let's see if the sound comes. Yep.
Yes, that's correct.
Yep.
Okay, they got sound. Good. So then one more time.
Nice.
So did you, Kurt, did you find yourself?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really great, and the way you morphed each person into the next one, I think it was really well done. Very
The
very
transitions are very well made.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
And we're really looking forward to seeing the full version and seeing the full photo of Kurt, Ian, yeah, and Ali, yeah, of course. So, if anybody has anything to share, say, or complain, because we're going past the 9 p.m. and that's my arrangement with you guys.
Lino, are you still there? Yes. I have a question for you.
He's eating on the side, right?
I am always here, but I've got
yes,
the computer with a small screen, and then I've got my big screen, you know.
Yes.
And then, as you know, I'm not able to move things because I'm not so a technician.
Okay, I have a simple question. I will call to Zurich maybe tomorrow, maybe on Thursday to visit an exhibition of Lee Miller, a very famous photographer, but I had time to visit you to help you with Lightroom.
Okay, look, the only problem is that, okay, because tomorrow, okay, the 24th I should go to the Zurich Film Festival. It will be, I mean, when you are in Zurich tomorrow?
Tomorrow, maybe on Thursday, I can choose.
Perhaps tomorrow would be better. I mean, I have to check with my wife when you will be in Zurich.
I have all the time. I have no other appointments.
We will do it this way. I will chat with you this evening. I will just have a talk with my wife. I don't know
if
tomorrow she may. I don't think she arranged nothing. And then we can, but I don't live in Zurich, I'm in Wittikon-Waldeck, you know.
And Wittikon, is it far from Zurich?
No, I mean, you know, are you by car or bus or what?
By bus.
Okay, no, there is a bus stop just 50 meters to my house. I mean, you know, it's not, it's at 15 minutes from Zurich.
Okay, no problem. Yes.
No. If you take from the Bahnhofstraße, from the Hauptbahnhof is, yeah, 15, 20 minutes maximum of train. I can come to pick you up or
yes.
So it's not. It's
no
not
problem. Okay.
And I will let you know by chat this evening.
That's it. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Thank
yes. Yes. You're welcome.
But I'm always here. I move to the other screen. Okay.
That's why he keeps the mask there, so we cannot think it is him, right?
Yes.
It's no big difference.
No.
So guys, thank you again for participating. I'm looking forward for having some inputs from you about the sections of our discussions here on Tuesdays, what's working, what's not working, so we can keep more of the good things and kick away anything that is not really so popular. And also for you guys sharing some or giving some ideas of what we could discuss, but not on next Tuesday when we have our photo walk, on the following one.
Makes sense.
Okay, thanks again, everyone. I wish you
you
guys a great evening and a good start of the week.
Bye bye.
Yes, you too.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.